Have you ever?
No, I've never.
All right, we're gonna get into our Clash recap here. Um, looked like Talladega Nights out there.
Yeah,
Really, it
really.
was like everything happening on track at once. Chase
Yeah.
Elliott was going all Dale Earnhardt mode. I know you guys are gonna get mad for me saying that, but he was putting the bumpers on people, and that's what the real NASCAR fans like to see. If there were less wrecks, I personally would have enjoyed it more. But
Yeah.
it was definitely some interesting racing.
Honestly, yeah, no, especially when we saw that one part, with the failed blocks being
Yeah,
thrown. I think that was pretty crazy, seeing some teammates like Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski going at it at one point.
teammates.
That's also been
Yeah, I was
And
watching
also,
it.
yeah, Brad Keselowski did struggle a lot throughout this
That
weekend.
it was
From hitting the fence,
right.
going out for practice, to now wrecking in the Clash. It just hasn't been his weekend so far.
I wonder if it's more of a mindset thing
Yeah.
compared to more of
Because
a
you're coming back from a long off season, and
yeah.
everybody's minds are racing. They just want to
And
get back racing.
he's usually in the final four and did not make it last year,
Yeah,
so I wonder if that
he
plays any role.
definitely struggled like later towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's minds are just kind of.
Yeah, I don't think he made it past the round of
I think it was round of 12 or 16. I
yeah,
don't
it
know.
was definitely not
Yeah, one of
Brad
those.
Keselowski, the 2012 NASCAR
Yeah,
champion, like at all. But Eric Jones took it home
yeah,
in that beat up car. Looks like he took it to the short
yeah. I
tracks out
know.
there
Yeah,
and just started to
that's
yeah.
definitely one for the junkyard. That
It,
was a
he posted something on Twitter a
yeah,
couple hours after the race about the car, how it looked like Terry Labonte's
yeah. It did
car from Bristol. Yeah.
after Bristol. Yeah, and I mean, also crazy part of the race. I think the most craziest part was that one restart.
Oh yeah, Ryan
Everybody's
Newman
tire
just
spun.
spins
It
his
just it
tires out of
was like
nowhere.
a
Yeah,
parking lot out there at the start
it
finish
was
line. It was
insane.
crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
You know,
it was so just absolutely stupid. All right, speaking of the Clash, should I stay or should I go? There were so many free agents. And
yeah,
NASCAR and NBC posted something on Instagram that was just all the free agents in
yeah,
NASCAR after this current season. It's insane. So we're gonna have him name some of
yeah.
them.
I mean, 52 combined wins between these drivers. I mean, we have
It's
people like
huge.
Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, both from Penske, who are going to be
Yeah.
free agents after this season. Clint Boyer, Eric Jones, Matthew Benedetto,
Hmm.
Corey LaJoy, Kyle Larson, Bubba Wallace, and Alex Bowman are all going to be free agents after the end of this season. Now, I honestly, Mom's saying that I think out of these people who are going to, I think staying will probably be Alex Bowman, Corey LaJoy will
Hmm.
probably be staying, Matthew Benedetto, because this is only going to be his first season,
Right.
so I think he'll do well in the 21. I think Clint Boyer, honestly, Clint Boyer, it's going to be really good depending on how he does this season.
Well, I mean, he is getting up there in age,
He
and
is getting up there in age.
yeah, I looked at his stats the other day. It was not too many wins to his
Yeah,
count. However, he's Clint Boyer.
he's
We're
Clint
not going to
Boyer.
doubt the fact that he is Clint
Yeah,
Boyer,
he's Clint
maybe
Boyer.
the most personable guy in the
Definitely has the
garage.
biggest personality in the
Yeah.
garage. Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, I do think they both stay for at least another
Yes.
season after
Yeah.
this. Kyle Larson,
That's huge.
that's huge because Kyle Larson, honestly, he's been up and down really these past
In
couple seasons.
NASCAR,
In
definitely, yeah.
NASCAR, definitely, I
But if
think
you look at his dirt
his dirt
track
racing.
stats,
People have been
that's
saying
like
that he
up
should take
there.
a one season break from NASCAR and focus on dirt.
That's interesting because he stated that he wants to
He
run at
has
least
stated
one full
that.
season on World of
Yeah,
Outlaws before he retires from NASCAR,
yeah,
and that's huge because this guy runs out here in NASCAR every
yeah.
single
Week in and
weekend.
week out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy. And then on the side, he's flying
to
down
be
to
able
these dirt. It's awesome.
to do dirt on the side, it's
I know a
crazy.
lot of people don't. I know NASCAR Twitter likes to yell at him for getting too dangerous in these cars.
But
But
he's good at what he
yeah,
does.
he's so
And if you're
good.
good at it, why not continue to do it? I mean,
He showed up to media day with the bloody eyes,
the
like
bloody
the
eyes. Yeah,
modern day Davy.
it's
He's really
crazy.
going full old school.
He's definitely a
It's
racer.
yeah,
And again, as he might not be performing the best at the NASCAR Cup Series level, he has that dirt racer in him.
yeah. But I mean,
And it's always
you
good
bring
to
up
bounce off of that too.
you bring up the point that he is not as good as he was in previous seasons,
Like, yeah, he is
but
definitely not as good as he was. Yeah.
he's still Kyle
It's
Larson.
also funny. I've noticed how it was kind of like pre-Chevy Camaro. Is when he was good.
Well, Chevy Camaro isn't only him that was struggling. I mean, take a look
Yeah,
at
take a look
Jimmy
at Jimmy
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but Jimmy
huge.
Johnson also, people talk about the Pocono wreck.
Yeah,
Because it
the
was right after
Pocono
that.
wreck, but he won after that.
He no, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't.
He won.
Right.
He won the week before that, and then because that was
Right.
at
Yeah,
Dover.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Other
Um,
free agents on this list. Sorry to cut to topic, but other free agents, I think Bubba Wallace. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know about Bubba
it's
Wallace.
gonna be interesting. I
It's gonna be
know
really interesting
they
for him.
had the Worldwide Technology step up to sponsor them with
Yeah,
not Worldwide Technologies itself, but Victory Junction on the car, which
Victory Junction. I like.
I think that's
I think
awesome.
that's awesome too.
You know, when you get to have Victory Junction on the
Hmm.
car on a especially an RPM car, that's really cool.
Yeah, and then we got Bubba. Excuse me, Alex Bowman. I think Bowman stays. He proved.
Really,
I think he proved himself last season. I think this season he can bounce off of that, and I think he'd do just as good. I'd say he gets maybe 2 wins this season,
two
possibly.
wins. That's definitely bigger than I would expect out of Alex Bowman. I know I don't like to doubt drivers like this. I know
Yeah,
every single driver that starts, even like Brennan Poole and Quinn Hoff, they go out there, they are still top level race car drivers because they made it to that top
yeah,
level and they
yeah,
race,
yeah.
all the time. It's
Hmm.
even if you're a truck series driver like Jordan Anderson, who I really admire, he's like probably one of the last
Yeah,
real driver owners out there. He's awesome. And yeah, like all these guys are so top level, and it's crazy to see Alex Bowman out here
yeah.
maybe not getting rehired. I personally don't think he will get rehired. I feel like he will land somewhere else equally as good as
As Hendrick. Okay.
As his Hendrick car, not as good as Hendrick, because Hendrick, they have so many championships and everything. They
Yeah,
have Jimmy Johnson's 7 record, all of those are with Hendrick. So I do feel like we we're not going to see Bowman go back to Hendrick, but I do feel like it'll be Hendrick level. Whether that's Chip Ganassi or Stuart Haas, we'll have to see. But I do not think he will get re-signed to Hendrick.
that's a good. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Who else? Eric Jones. That's an interesting one. I
Yeah,
think Eric
definitely.
Jones.
After that Clash
After the
win.
Clash win, well, you got to also think it's the Clash. First of all,
Yeah,
a lot of guys wrecked themselves out. I
right.
think if it was not like maybe 5 cars at the end of it, I definitely don't think he
Not
would have
just the
won.
Clash, however.
Not
He
just
did win at
he won
Darlington.
at Darlington, which was huge for him. But yeah, like I said, it
That race
seems
was
like
like at 3 a.m.
it
too,
seems
so I
like
don't know how much that
he
counts.
has these races where he does so well, but then he has races where he just does not perform up to what Joe Gibbs level.
Yeah,
Because you got all the guys like Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, Kyle Busch who all can constantly finish top 10. You have Jones who top 15. Then he'll have occasionally like 3 starts of like the top 5. Then he'll fall down into the dips and like crash and DNF like for 2 races. So
what I don't want to have happen is I don't want to have another Joey Logano
yeah,
or even Daniel Suarez situation. I know Suarez is like your favorite, but we have seen a tendency of Joe Gibbs to let drivers go just a little bit before they're
yeah,
too early. Matt
before
Benedetto was left out to dry after their Xfinity Series program. I don't know if do we count Matt Tift because that
yeah,
Xfinity Series ride as well.
yeah.
Then we obviously Joey Logano.
Hmm.
And then Suarez.
Yeah.
Suarez has so much potential.
And
He's an
yeah.
Xfinity champion,
Thing about
and he
Joey
just let him go.
Logano, well, Joey Logano is one of those who I think obviously Joe Gibbs was not the place for him because he goes at the Penske and he does way better there.
And yeah, championships
He went to
and all those. Yeah,
championship, and that wasn't the story for Suarez. I mean, he went to Stuart Haas. He would have been back for Stuart Haas this season, but he didn't have. It was sponsorship issues with, but he has huge backings from Aris and
yeah.
Coca-Cola.
Aris is huge.
Because
I would
Daniel
have thought Aris
Suarez,
would have stayed with Joe
one huge
Gibbs.
thing about Daniel Suarez is because he's Latino. It's huge to see like a Mexican driver come
Yeah,
to
with
America.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, and
With their whole big thing
yeah,
behind him, and
well, yeah, the
that's
whole De Los
great.
Amigos. So that's why he's been able to stay in the Cup Series. Now he might not have the best ride this
Right,
season, but he's
with
still
Dawn Brothers,
it's a
but
cup.
yeah.
It's a cup level ride.
Exactly. He's still a cup level guy. It's the same point I'm going to be drilling you this
I
entire
definitely
season.
think he is a cup level guy. I just think he has to find his right place
Right.
in a right time.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, he was definitely forced because again, nobody expected Carlos to leave in 2017.
Right. No,
Because
he
he
just
definitely
got
had
up and
another
left.
Xfinity season left in him.
Yeah.
And they pull him up too early. His first season, he did okay, really, for a rookie. Second season is just I just don't think Joe Gibbs is the right place for him.
Right.
I
He
think
he did get the stage points
he did get
at
the stage points. He got a pole. It was a luck pole, but
2018 was
what?
probably his best NASCAR season to date. With I believe it was maybe 3 top fives.
I know he had I think 4 or 5 last
Okay.
season.
But it was definitely a lot of top fives.
Yeah, he ran good. He definitely ran good. Last season he led the most laps. He led most laps in his career.
Right.
In the
And
Cup.
it was huge.
Yeah, it was huge. he's definitely improving, I would say. But I do think he's in a new ride this season. It's gonna be hard because he's not in a
Mhm.
good, not in the best ride. I think though, like it's Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain took premium motorsports equipment, and he was able to finish top 15 here and
he
there.
he's able to drive he gets as much of the car out of it as he
Yeah,
possibly can. He's like out here beating Landon Castle and stuff, and Landon Castle's like this great
yeah.
driver
Like you can be a
running in
fast
StarCom.
driver if you
Yeah,
can get all the as much as you can out of the equipment.
if you can muscle your car to finish better than anybody else who ever has ever stepped foot in that car,
Yeah,
you deserve the ride on the number 77. Which it is it really a Chip Ganassi car?
yeah. It's kind of it's hand me down parts really.
It's a little bit less than
Yeah,
the Furniture Row.
yeah. It's a little less than that
Yeah,
really. I think it's just kind of here's some parts, and then you have their parts combined with some of the parts that they have from their team, like their
right.
own team. It's kind of like a mix of that. I think that the 77 will run decent. It's Daytona, so
It
anybody can pretty much run decent.
he got the top 5 at or top 10 in Daytona.
Yeah,
He was running really well, got into 0 accidents in the
yeah.
Coca-Cola 600, or
Coke
sorry,
Zero
excuse me,
400.
Coke Zero 400 in
Yeah,
2018, and then he got caught up in that late race crash. As you guys can see, I am a Ross Chastain fan, but yeah, it's if that's one driver I am
yeah,
looking forward to at least put at least he a top 20 finish out of him. And I know that's huge.
yeah,
He's ran like 25th, I think, in that premium car. And if he's able to just push top 20, that would be huge for that entire team.
yeah. All right. Well, looks like that's enough for
This segment, at
this
least.
segment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to head on to our duels next.
Yep. All right, and as you know, tonight, this is being filmed on the night of the duels. So tonight we have the duels, and this is going to decide. There are 5 drivers tonight who have a shot at making the Daytona 500. 3 of them are going to go home.
Yes.
2 of them are making the Daytona 500,
This
and
is huge.
we have our predictions and what we think is going to happen in these duels and who's going to make it. So let's see. We'll start off with you.
Yeah, so one thing I do want to point out about duel number 1, I feel like this is going to be the cleaner duel, because usually we
Definitely.
see the later duel get a little bit crazier as the night goes on.
Definitely.
The crazy hours at Daytona are they produce some stuff, but also weekday racing at Daytona is also
Yeah.
known to produce some pretty cool moments. I have a little thing here. 9 out of the last 10 plate races were won by drivers in Duel 1. The only one not won by a driver in Duel 1, the Daytona Spring race, or the Daytona July race, sorry, of 2018, which was won by Eric Jones. But the others, all of them were 9 out of 10 of them
Yeah,
were
let me
won
point out
by Duel 1
five of those,
racers.
and 5 of those 9 were won by Fords, and 3 of
That's
them,
huge.
and 3 of them being Penske drivers. So Penske
Yeah.
obviously is really good at Daytona. Ford's really good at Daytona. So, but don't count out, you got Toyota drivers like Denny Hamlin. The Toyota drivers are known to work with each other at plate tracks. They are some of the
Yeah.
best plate racers. So
Speaking of that,
we go to
Duel 1,
Duel
Daniel Suarez in the Gaunt Brothers Toyota is in the same duel as Martin Truex Jr. And Denny Hamlin. We saw this last year with Kyle Busch helping Ryan Truex in that number 71 car.
Yeah.
He helped him and he pushed him
to the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, you think if Daniel Suarez can get up to them and get help from those guys, he has a fairly decent shot at making the 500.
And we know Hamlin and Truex are 2 drivers that are known to push themselves and push their teammates, as we saw in the clash, push them forward. But let's go to our predictions for what's actually going to happen in the race. I say it's going to be mostly a single file freight train like we've seen in some duels.
I think, start off, you get your normal 2 wide, and they really within the first 5 laps sort it out. Because again, everybody's trying to be clean. You want to try to keep a clean car. Really, it's just, especially if you're a driver who's trying to qualify on like Suarez.
Right.
I think the other driver in that duel is Reed Sorensen, if I'm not mistaken. I think it is. Yeah, it's Reed Sorensen. So I think that everybody's going to try to keep it clean. Because again, it's a duel. It's not like it's huge, but it's still, it's decent.
It's huge for those 5.
It's huge for those 5, yeah.
And then it's obviously like not even that big of a deal for Stenhouse and Bowman because they already raced their way in.
Yeah.
But I think Denny Hamlin's gonna win. I know, like, he's 2 Daytona 500 now.
I'm predicting Chase Elliott to win. I mean, didn't he win a duel last year? If I'm not wrong, I think he won
I think he won in 2016 in his rookie year.
I think I think it was one he won
Yeah.
he has won a duel. Uh, he's been fairly decent on plate tracks.
Mhm.
Not the great like we saw him win in the 2019 Talladega Spring Race, but
Right.
that was after
The
him
Kyle Larson
Kyle
and
Larson's big
yeah.
wreck. So again, like you said, I think it's gonna be fairly single file most of the race.
Outside lane single file, like
Outside
as
lane
we've
single
seen in
file.
the first.
And maybe towards the end, I think is when you'll start to see, maybe within the last 10 laps, maybe Suarez possibly get help from Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas and get possibly push his way into the Daytona 500.
Yeah, no, I don't think we're gonna see a big one. I don't feel
I
like
don't think we're going to
most
see
of
a big
these
one.
drivers want to risk starting in the rear and
Yeah,
the
wrecking out your
biggest race of the
car.
year. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I would not
Which, yeah,
want to
I
wreck
would, yeah.
again
I
after
wouldn't
the
want to wreck.
clash.
Yeah, after the clash, you got a lot of money
Yeah,
being flushed out the window because of a lot
even
of
the
wrecked up
winner
cars.
had
Yeah.
a
Even the
brand new car.
the winner's car was just completely totaled.
So yeah,
So,
I do not think
yeah, it's going to be the
any
cleaner
of
duel.
those teams want to
Yeah.
have to
Have
send
another,
another car
yeah.
down to
You don't want to
Daytona.
have another clash. Really, I do agree. I think it's gonna be a more cleaner duel.
Mm.
I think the duel one is gonna be clean, no wrecks really at all. If anything, maybe spin or something if we see anything
Yeah,
or debris caution or something like that. But don't think there's gonna be any big wrecks.
yeah. We're gonna head on down to Duel 2 now. Only one of 10 of the last 10 plate races were won by a driver in Duel 2.
That's Austin Dillon.
That was actually, oh, Dylan is in Heat 1, actually, or the Duel 1.
Oh,
Eric Jones is
Eric
that one
Jones. Yes, my
driver that
bad.
has won
Eric
in
Jones.
this second
Yes.
duel here.
Yeah, but Eric Jones just had help from a teammate in that he has Kyle Busch. I think he's in duel number 2. If I'm not wrong.
Yep.
I think yeah.
Him and
That
Kyle Busch are the
this
two
we have
drivers.
this duel has 3 drivers in this who are not who are or is it 2 or 3? I think it's 3.
I believe it's 3.
Yeah, who are fighting for what do you call it? Making Daytona. That's JJ Yaley, Timmy Hill, and who's the last one? I want to
I believe
say
Chad Fincham
Chad
is
Fincham
that
is the
last
last
one.
one. So I
But
think
it's going to be huge.
yeah,
If Fincham can make that Daytona
I
500.
think Fincham is gonna make it.
I know he's good behind the wheel of an Xfinity car, but
I definitely
see if he doesn't cup.
I think this could have the potential to have maybe a wreck.
That's one of the notes I had here.
I think there's
I
gonna be
say
a
we're
wreck.
going to see some at least
At
double
least double
file
file.
racing.
I think yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like
I don't
these
think
guys
it's
in
not
Duel
gonna be as
2
clean.
want to go as clean as Duel 1 is. That's
Yeah.
really never the case
So I
with the
think
duels.
there's a shot, maybe a couple car wreck, if anything, if that's like maybe the biggest thing that
Yeah.
could happen. But I don't expect anything too huge. But maybe something could happen in this race, especially in the last 10 or so laps.
I say Jimmy Johnson's going to take home the win. I know he did win the Clash last year. I know it was really controversial, but he did go out there and take that one home. But yeah,
I say it's going to be his teammate William Byron.
so yeah, this
Getting Duel
is
2.
you have 2 Hendrick picks. I have a Joe Gibbs and a Hendrick pick.
Yeah,
But yeah,
William Byron has definitely proved himself. I think this season he gets his first career win. Most definitely, I think he's going to get his first win this season.
he's one of the nicest guys like
He is
on the
definitely
grid.
one of the nicest guys in the. He's one of the most classy drivers.
Yeah, he really is.
I think he's gonna do really well this season.
I know you said that we're only going to see maybe a 1 or 2 car spin. I actually say we're going to see a big one in this
Big
duel
one?
late,
That's
which
interesting.
will maybe take out 1 or 2 of the Daytona 500 drivers trying to get in. But yeah, now we're going to head on down to our Daytona picks.
All right, and as you know, this coming Sunday is the Daytona 500. A pretty interesting qualifying we saw. We saw Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for JTG.
Yes,
In a new
huge.
new car in a new ride this season for him. Take the pole, huge for that team, huge for him to come out of the Roush family and now prove himself by getting the Daytona 500 pole at JTG. I think this is going to be an interesting Daytona 500. We saw a lot of interesting pack racing during the clash.
Yeah,
especially the amount
weird.
of how good you can get a run on somebody.
Yeah,
and how like you can make a move like instantly. It's gonna be
I
think,
did
crazy.
see the bubble that has been talked about in recent years.
Yeah,
With the new, I think, higher horsepower
Yeah.
package, we saw it decrease in size just a little bit because Chase Elliott, when he was able to actually bump some people out of the way here,
yeah.
but yeah, he was able to bump Larson a couple times. But I mean, I think that bubble is essentially gone,
Yeah.
which could throw us back to the era of um, good old racing, like 2012 and 11,
Yeah.
where we see tandem drafting.
I think we could see tandem drafting because yes, like we saw
We saw a little bit of it at
at
Talladega
at Talladega.
and the Clash too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
with
Clash
Denny
this year we
Hamlin
saw this
and
year.
Eric Jones. I it could return. That's one of the things I have. Tandem drafting, as much as it was disliked by the fans for creating racing that wasn't as close as it had been,
Yeah.
it was still cool to see what two teammates could do
Yeah,
together.
especially from a driver perspective, you can
Yeah.
hook up with a teammate and easily, get runs on people.
Mhm.
I think it's like again, like as you said, it might not be the most interesting racing,
Right.
but it's still, the most
It's
looking at it
more
from a
team
yeah,
reliable
more team
compared to
reliable,
more just
creates more team strategy,
yeah.
really.
Compared to either if it was a Chevy that's behind you, a Ford or a Toyota. Now it's going to be
We've been
a
seeing that
Penske car.
we've been seeing a lot recently in the past couple of years at uh, plate races
Right.
where we have the Fords working together, the
Right. The
Chevys working
Fords were
together,
huge.
and the Toyotas working together. It's
Right. Well,
crazy.
Toyotas and Chevys really
Toyotas and
kind of
Chevys really
similar
kind of
alliance.
because
And
there's not because
yeah.
what is Joe Gibbs the only Toyota team in the field?
It's him and Gaunt Brothers, I do
And Gaunt
believe.
Brothers now, yeah. So really, you're gonna have the Chevys and Toyotas possibly hooking up together,
Right.
and there's a lot of Fords obviously in the field. Just
Yeah.
Stuart Haas, Penske, even Front Row Motorsports.
Yeah.
They've been a little bit more consistent recently,
Yeah,
especially at the end of
definitely.
last season. So I could say they could possibly maybe pull out a win this season. I think it's gonna be really exciting to plate races this
Mhm.
season, Daytona and Talladega.
Well, now speaking of Daytona, let's get into what we think will happen in the Daytona 500. I think the first 175 laps are going to be
Yeah,
pretty clean, with the exception of the first maybe 10,
yeah.
15,
I
where
say,
they
yeah.
get a little antsy and that kind of stuff.
I say, yeah, going back to last year, I think it's going to be pretty much like last year, except for the when we had a pit road accident last
Right.
year. That was, I think, really rookies. There's a lot of rookies, like Tyler,
Rookies and
yeah,
BJ
and
McLeod.
BJ McLeod, and
Yeah.
obviously it's Rick Ware. I mean, what else would you
Right.
expect from Rick Ware?
Well,
Really, I think it's going to be, yeah, like you said, they're going to get antsy first two laps, three wide racing,
right.
the first couple laps, and then really settle down. I think we could see a small wreck within the first 150 laps.
Yeah.
But I think the last 30 to 50 laps will definitely be crazier, and I think it could maybe be a wreck fest depending on it. Really, it depends on how much drivers are left at that
Right.
point. Because at the point last season we still had a ton of drivers left. So we still had a huge field left with 20 to go, and it just turned into chaos.
Yeah,
everybody's
definitely.
trying to win the Daytona 500.
Because if you're even remotely in that front pack,
you
within
still have a shot.
20 to go,
you could be say there's like 35 cars. You can be in 35th and still the main pack and still have a huge
if
shot
you're
to
in
win.
the main pack,
You have a shot to win.
Your mind goes into win this race mode,
win this
and
race mode.
You can only focus on winning.
Especially with a lot of new drivers and different rides. You're gonna have drivers who
Yeah.
want to make that big first debut, big impact.
Because as we saw
Stenhouse,
the drivers
Yeah.
that could potentially be leaving their teams, a lot
All
of
the free
them
agents, yeah.
are like relatively new to that
Yeah.
car.
Like one of those Eric Jones,
Yeah.
Alex Bowman. It's gonna be, I think, crazy to see. Especially because you got the drivers who are in like only their second and third season, they're already on the chopping block to possibly be out of that team.
All right, I think who's gonna win for Daytona? I'm gonna go with Kyle Busch. I feel like he finally gets that first one after all these years of trying. It's not. I don't think he's gonna have to wait as long as Dale Earnhardt did, but I do feel like he's definitely going to get it this year with what he's shown he's capable of with the moves he put on Joey Logano in the Clash before the wreck occurred.
I think it's gonna be William Byron. I think he is gonna. I think it's gonna, like I said, I think he's gonna win it. Not really on like a dominant basis, but on pretty much avoiding wrecks and luck.
So
basis.
a normal Daytona win,
pretty much.
essentially.
It's kind of like Austin Dillon.
Yeah.
I think it could possibly come down to maybe spin the guy, wreck him for a win, like Austin Dillon, Austin Dillon did to Alec Amarola a couple years ago. So
we haven't seen too much of Byron's on track character. Yeah. We've really just kind of seen he can throw with the big guns for a little minute, and then he's got to hang back.
Yeah,
because he's not too confident in where the car can go.
I think this will be his breakout season. I have a lot of hopes for him this season, and I think he could start off the bang with a 500 win. It might not be in the most prettiest fashion, but I think he could definitely somehow pull a win out of this.
Yeah, it could be huge. We could see a caution free Daytona 500 like the iRacing
That would
series
be
had,
yeah, that would be crazy.
or we could see
That was caution free.
caution free the entire time, and then
Wow.
the only wreck was coming to the checkers.
Oh yeah, I saw
The
that.
Kyle
Yeah,
Busch or the Joe Gibbs Motorsports car hit the catch fence,
yeah, that was
but it was a
crazy.
huge crash.
Yeah,
But yeah, we can see the drivers kind of have the iRacing mindset where they don't want to wreck early and then throw their chance at a
yeah,
Daytona 500 away, because I feel like that's what these drivers don't want to do anymore. Previously, we've seen huge wrecks in the first couple
yeah,
of laps at Daytona,
yeah.
but in
Speaking
the
like,
recent 4 or 5 years, we have
yeah,
not seen.
we haven't seen really
Yeah,
the big actually haven't come till the end of the
yeah,
race.
within like 30 to
But
go
then
is when we've seen
at
the
the end
big
of the
ones.
races, and all of a sudden it goes big wreck after big wreck after big
Right.
wreck. Like you'll have like 3 big ones within a span of 10 laps.
Right, we
And
used
then
to see
'cause
these
yeah,
races end with the sun shining,
yeah.
and
Now
now we're
like
used to
last
seeing them
season it
end at
was
night.
completely pitch black. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
2011. It was still maybe like what 5:36
yeah.
p.m. Now we're seeing them closer to
Even
7
Denny
p.m.
Hamlin's win at Daytona, it was still light out when he
Yeah,
took
when
the
he took the
checkers.
checkered flag.
But his most recent win in 2019, it was dark.
Then
It's
yeah, 2017 was I think the first race. It was the sun was I think set. It was like maybe a few minutes after sunset when Kurt Busch won. And in
yeah,
2018, it just progressively gets darker and darker.
yeah,
Then again, I did think they moved the start time back an hour from I
yes.
think the previous years.
But then like we could see a fast paced race,
Yeah, we could see
like
it
with,
with no cautions at all.
or we could see the when we hit 30 to go, everybody starts
Yeah.
gravitating towards the inside grass or towards the wall, and nobody wants to really give each other
I
room.
definitely think the last lap, no matter how many cars are left, you're going to see cars going
Right.
everywhere. Because even if it's 5 cars left or 25 cars or 30 cars left, there's going to be you guys going
Yeah.
everywhere. Because it's the last second. I gotta try to get as many positions as I can.
Right.
Because you could gain maybe 10, 15 spots if you have the fast car and the right people pushing you. You could maybe gain that many spots in like one lap.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like a video game almost.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
it's
This
the
new
way the
package.
draft can work, as
Yeah.
we saw with only 6 cars left running.
Yeah, you can go from 5th to 1st.
You really could.
In a matter of a corner.
You could Dale Earnhardt it
Yeah.
through the field and just make your way up there.
It's
If
crazy.
you have a anybody that's willing to work with you. I know we saw 2011 Jeff Gordon and Trevor Bayne were like, we're gonna work together. Team orders ruined that. I don't want to see another team order fiasco with this. Like, I know Carl Edwards, that happened to him one year
Yeah.
because he had to work with Greg Biffle, but definitely if
Yeah.
teams play a role, as as we've said before with the tandem drafting, if we see teams start calling their drivers out and making them switch
Yeah.
who they're working with, that could throw off somebody's entire race momentum.
Yeah, team orders definitely, especially if we get tandem drafting again,
Right.
will be huge. Because you want to be working with the right guy at the right time. That could be what it comes down to. You don't want to have a guy who could possibly, ditch you last second.
Yeah.
Because, team orders, say that you got somebody who's not your teammate behind you, then all of a sudden that guy sees his teammate.
Right.
He could, ditch you, and they both
leave
work
you out
together.
to dry, freight train you, as they used to say with the single file at Talladega.
I definitely think if we see, like, maybe 20 to go, say they're single file, I think, if you see somebody drop to the bottom, try to make a second line, if you see somebody get freight train right to the back.
Now, I wonder how fuel will work this year, fuel and tire consumption.
That is going to be
because
interesting.
that could play a huge role into who wins, as we saw with the pit road accident.
Yeah, last year. Yeah, last year that took out a big name. I mean, Jimmy Johnson was in that. Wasn't I think
Tyler Reddick also.
Tyler Reddick, Ricky Stenhouse was in that. Rick Ware, not Rick Ware. BJ McLeod. My bad. He was a Rick Ware driver.
Yeah, it was. It definitely could be a pit, like a fuel race.
Yeah.
Because 2017, I believe that was with Kurt Busch winning.
Yeah, because Kyle Larson and Truex both ran out of fuel.
Right, I believe so did Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott
was up there.
I believe Ryan Blaney might have also been up there as well.
Yeah, Ryan Blaney was up there. AJ Allmendinger was up there.
Yeah, it could have been.
He finished second. AJ Allmendinger.
It could have been a huge
win for
AJ
Allmendinger.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been a huge pack forming.
Could have been.
And then fuel.
Like 2018. This was not really fuel. But this is could have been a huge win for Almirola.
And then But I know that was a controversial finish, and still when people talk
Yeah.
about it, there's still differing
There's
opinions.
always controversy, it seems like, after Daytona. Last year people saying that it was rigged because you had J.D. Gibbs pass away. Then
Right.
1 month later, Denny Hamlin goes out,
Right.
wins the Daytona 500
But
in the 11.
I feel like that wasn't so much.
Controversy. That was because they were racing with something on their mind. They're
Yeah,
racing.
they had the mindset going into Daytona. We have to
We
win
have to
this
get
race.
this race. We have to win.
Yeah.
Coach Joe Gibbs is
Even
probably going through a lot.
even if Joe Gibbs wasn't like we're winning this race for him, I bet you Denny was because they
Yeah.
were really close at everything.
Yeah.
Even him, the entire crew was close.
Wasn't it like where did Kyle Busch finish? Wasn't it 1-2?
It was a 1-2
1-2
finish.
1-2 finish for
Yes.
Joe Gibbs. Yeah.
So that was definitely big.
That was huge for that team
But
last
yeah,
year.
so
And then Denny Hamlin goes on to have one of his best seasons since
yeah,
2010.
and then Tape took
Yeah.
away his championship.
Yeah, that really.
Yeah, that was.
I think he'll be a competitor again this year.
Yeah,
Without a doubt, I
had
think he has a
a
shot
mid
this year.
2000 season.
Yeah.
He was really good.
That was
in
his
like
best season.
2010.
Yeah, 2010 he got his best season. I think he had 8 wins that season.
Right.
That was, I think, his second best with 6 wins. So
he did win an ISM this year, or
yes.
this past year.
Yes, which
We're heading into ISM
We're heading
for the
to ISM for the
championship
championship.
venue this year.
I think we should. Yeah.
What are we gonna say with that?
Honestly, I think it's definitely different. A lot of people are expecting Homestead was a normal oval.
Right.
Now we have a kind of a D-shaped oval, and also are they still having that big configuration that they ran when it was ISM, or are they changing the configuration back?
I believe they're still running the ISM
Same
configuration.
okay.
Then when we're heading to Phoenix, excuse me, yeah, you're running me
yeah.
there. But it is going to be called Phoenix Raceway. But I do believe they are.
We're still running.
I don't think they're gonna. Would you unpave, like decrease banking back to?
I am not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but I think
I prefer the new.
I like
style
the new,
of racing,
but I prefer the old. But because you had the dog leg on the back, which is the back straightaway, and now you can make a move there. Now you have it. It's where the start finish line is.
Right, but the restarts.
The restarts
could decide a championship like we saw.
Yes, like we
in
saw
2016.
Yeah.
Because if we see
well,
what we
2016
saw,
they didn't have that format. 2016.
Well, 2016 was Miami, when Carl Edwards got wrecked and a restart decided the championship.
Yeah, restarts
But
can decide championship. Now this year,
if we see that this
restarts,
year,
yeah.
that could be huge.
That could be huge.
Because if we could see another Carl Edwards thing, where say maybe like Kurt Busch is going for it for the championship, and then he gets hooked by somebody,
yeah,
and then he's like, I'm gonna leave. This is too dangerous, or whatever, and go sail around the world like Edwards did.
Now that we haven't heard Carl Edwards in a while.
Yeah, I think he even showed up to Texas.
Yeah,
and was like, I'm here. What's up?
Yeah, I think now that I think we should touch on the 2020 schedule a little bit. This season.
Pocono doubleheader. I'm going to be going to that this year, so I'm going to bring you footage from that. I'm going to record as much as I can. Maybe I will be able to get into the garage as I did in 2019.
I definitely want to try to go to a race this season, as well.
Yeah.
I want to go to maybe 1 or 2, but honestly, it's going to be an interesting schedule. I'm going to put the schedule actually really quick. But
Dover could be huge because we go to Dover. He's gone in 2000 and we went in 2019.
Yeah.
But it could be a with the new short track aero package. I don't know if they are running it at Dover. If they are, it could be huge for NASCAR. Well, that is a wrap up of our duel video. Hopefully, this gets out before
the duels.
At least before Duel 2 finishes.
Yeah, at least before Duel 2 finishes. A lot to edit.
But have you ever?
No, I've never.
All right, we'll see you. I guess
after
the 500. Yeah, Monday after the 500.